It is time for Mercury Retrograde again, and I promise you it's not out here to ruin your life. But we're still going to make sure that you have the full survival guide to dodge the chaos and come out on top. Because I don't want you to fall for the fear, panic, and anxiety that is happening right now. Instead, I want you to tap into your power and into the magic and the gifts that this Mercury Retrograde has to offer you. So just so you know, on here, we're not just talking about the basics. We're not just going to dive into the do's and don'ts and then leave it at that. We're actually going to dive into the potency, the potential, and the power of Mercury retrograde and how to use it to your benefit. Because when we're looking at the basic do's and don'ts for this time, we have Mercury, the planet of communication, of short distance travel, and this is the planet of thoughts and words. So yes, a lot of times people will tell you don't sign any contracts, look at, miscommunication might come up, don't travel or check your travel agenda to make sure that everything is correct. And yes, all of these things, they can happen. Just make sure that you're patient with the way that you communicate things, that you just check things that you write down. If you have contracts, if you have documents, just make sure to check them, maybe double instead of once, and you're good to go. Don't make this something that it doesn't need to be. Don't get afraid that the world is going to burn down, because I feel like, especially with Mercury retrograde, a lot of people get really fearful and afraid of this time and think that their whole world is going to burn down, and that is just simply not the truth. If you need to sign contracts, just make sure that they are actually correct. If you have travel plans, just maybe double check. And if there is any delays or if there's any miscommunication in your life happening right now, just be a little bit more patient. This is not just something to get out of your mind about. It is a time for you to practice patience with yourself and others, to get more clear on your words and your thoughts. This is actually a beautiful time to learn how to articulate your thoughts in a more concise and clear manner. So when we're going away and really diving deeper from just the basics and diving deeper into the magic of Mercury, then we're looking at a very powerful planet, because Mercury is your communication. Mercury is also the thoughts in your head, and Mercury is also connected to your nervous system. And when it is retrograde, this energy, we always say when a planet goes retrograde, it goes internal. So you're feeling this energy that is usually external and out there and moving forward. You're feeling this energy internal, and you have the opportunity to go back, to revise, to revisit, to rethink things. And especially with Mercury retrograde, you have the opportunity to look at your life, to look at the thoughts that you have in your life every day, and look how they're shaping your reality right now. This is one of my favorite ways to do this and to actually use the power of Mercury retrograde, instead of falling for all of this fear, to actually look at my life and ask myself if the thoughts that I'm having every day are actually supportive for my life. Because this is the perfect time to really think about that, because at the end of the day, your thoughts are shaping your actions and they're shaping your reality. They're shaping the results that you have in your life. So looking at your life right now and looking at the thoughts that you think daily, at the thoughts that come up multiple times a day, multiple times a week, that you have consistently and on a regular basis. Because why is this so powerful? Because like I said, your thoughts are impacting your beliefs and your actions, and they at the end impact your reality. Because the way that you think about yourself, the way that you think about the world is going to change how you move through the world. And when we're looking at Mercury retrograde in Aries, this is in the basic energy, in the raw energy. This is connected to your independence, to risk-taking, to being bold, to being confident. So asking yourself, where are you still limiting yourself in your thoughts? Where are you still afraid to communicate clearly and say no clearly? So this is an amazing time to practice saying no. And I think it is a lot of times people will say, don't get into arguments during Mercury retrograde. It's more easy to be misunderstood. But actually, if you take Mercury retrograde, this is a beautiful time, especially with it being in Aries, to learn how to communicate to communicate. One, learn how to say no, and also learn what your anger wants to communicate, or what message your anger has for you, because Aries is connected to rage and to anger. So looking at your life and seeing where this energy of rage and anger comes up, if it does during this time, because now it's more internal and you might feel more anger, even if it's annoyance. That could be the slightly easier digestible form of anger, just being a little bit annoyed and being like, this is so annoying, like it just feeling like a little bit of an ache, feeling like a little bit of an uncomfortable feeling. Asking your anger, asking your rage and annoyance what message it has for you, because a lot of times, especially in the spiritual space, people are afraid of their anger, and honestly, I was the same way. So when I talk about this, it is out of personal experience, because I was always someone who was, I didn't understand the emotion anger, and I didn't understand why people needed to take out their anger, and that is just because I didn't see healthy expressions of anger in my family, in my life, in the way that I lived, and the people I surrounded myself with. I didn't have a healthy example where they would express a healthy anger, and I think that would make me really afraid to feel this emotion of anger, to feel this emotion of rage, to be annoyed about something, and allowing myself to be like, this sucks, like, or just being like, fuck this. Like, I would be so afraid to feel this emotion. I would always constantly be in my head and be like, it's okay, it's fine, there's no reason to get angry, there is no reason to be annoyed, you live such a blessed life, you should be so grateful. And yes, while gratitude, perfect, amazing, so deeply helpful and powerful, anger and rage is also powerful. And especially as women, we're not taught to express anger. Usually we're the ones receiving aggression. We're usually the ones that need to handle the aggression in our lives and from other people towards us or towards other people and things. And that is something that shapes you in a really negative way and really makes you afraid and not understand how to access this emotion of anger. So this Mercury retrograde in Aries is the perfect time to do this, to revisit your connection to anger. Are you afraid to express anger? And I don't mean scream at people or punch walls or I don't know what, like that is not what I mean. When it comes to healthy expressions of anger, it is okay to say, this is making me angry right now. I don't feel good about this. No, I don't want this. No, I don't feel comfortable. This is what I want you to learn. You don't need to scream. You don't need to get loud. That is the other extreme of anger. Either you don't feel it or you go crazy and like explode. And I want you to find the healthy expression. Everything that we do here is for you to find the balance, for you to find the healthy expression so you can become the multifaceted, most powerful version of yourself. Because the best way to get everything that you desire, to magnetize the things that you want, to really become a powerful, confident person that is really sure in themselves, that really trusts themselves, that honors themselves, is someone who can experience the full range of emotions. And like I said, don't shame yourself if that is something that you can connect to. Don't shame yourself if that is something that you feel uncomfortable with. But just take this time during Mercury retrograde when it's in Aries first. It's going to go into Pisces as well. But especially during Mercury retrograde in Aries, revisit that relationship to anger, the thoughts that you have about anger, the way that you think about people who show anger in a healthy way. Don't get me wrong. I do not want you to think that people screaming and punching people or things are normal. No. But looking at people who can say no, who are like, this crosses a boundary. This makes me feel uncomfortable. Please take a step back. I remember I had one of my clients I was talking to her about boundaries, setting boundaries, your body, that your body belongs to you, that you get to decide who touches your body, what you feel comfortable with. We're working really deeply on Venusian themes. And she was talking to me about it, and she's like, yeah, I had this experience after a few of our sessions, and she did the Venusian effect program. And after that, she went into one-on-one coaching with me. And she was like, okay, I had this meeting with friends. She was meeting friends and they were having fun. And there was this man coming up to them and he wanted to shake her hand because he wanted to introduce himself. Wow, Mercury retrograde. We're already feeling but it's fine. So yeah, he wanted to introduce himself and shake her hand. And she told me, she just flat out said, no, I don't want to shake your hand. And that was so powerful. I was applauding her. I was screaming like out of excitement during that call because it's so powerful for a woman to stand in a space and circle with other women and be like, I actually don't want to shake your hand. Like, she didn't say it in an annoyed way. She just said like, no, thank you. I don't want to shake your hand. Like, she was very polite and kind about it, but she set a firm boundary. And that is what I mean. You don't need to be an asshole to people. Being firm in your boundaries, being able to say no, doesn't mean that you're an asshole. And if people experience and think that you are, and if they make you out to be, and if they want to make you a villain, maybe then let yourself be the villain. Let yourself be seen as an asshole, but you are not. You taking charge of the way that you communicate, taking charge of your body, taking charge of communicating your boundaries is powerful, and it is not bitchy, and it is not bossy. It is actually the best thing that you can do for yourself. Standing up for yourself is so deeply powerful. So that is something that I want you to focus on during this time. This is the number one thing I want you to focus on during this time. Do not get caught up in the fear of miscommunicating, of things going wrong in your life, of your tech breaking, or just save your data, just do a backup, and then you're good to go. Like, don't get afraid of this time and miss the chance, miss the opportunities to use this potency, to use this potential and power of Mercury retrograde, because there are way more gifts than there is things to be afraid of. So yes, one thing, look at your thoughts and the way that you think about your life. Look at the thoughts that you have about anger. Work on your connection to anger. Work on communicating, saying no. All of this takes practice. Do not be hard on yourself. Allow yourself space to grow. And this is a journey. Like I said, for me, it was a journey for me to learn how to connect to anger. And there's still moments where I feel bad saying no. And there's still moments I get anxiety of being like, but am I being like, is that not, like, I'm not being nice when I say no? Yeah, fuck that. There's the other version of me now inside of me that I've cultivated who's like, you get to say no. This is your body, your life, your reality. You get to decide. You get to communicate the way that you want, and what you want in your life and what you feel comfortable with. That is the first part. The second part is also looking at the way that you speak in your day-to-day life about yourself. No self-deprecating jokes. No negative tangents about yourself. And it is a different thing to say I feel, or I struggle with this, or I need help with this. Like I said, for me with anger, I struggled with showing anger. I struggled with saying no, and that is not a bad thing. But being like, I don't know how to do this, I can't do this, I'm such a bad person, like I should be ashamed of myself because I can't do that. No. This is your time to get curious, because Mercury is also connected to curiosity. So instead of shaming yourself, instead of going down a negative thought spiral, get curious, ask yourself questions, journal, because journaling is also connected to Mercury, writing things down. All of these things are going to help you ask yourself questions, especially when Mercury goes back into Pisces. This is connected to spiritual gifts. This is connected to your spiritual and intuitive side. So asking yourself, and asking your higher self questions, and then just journaling, just free flow journaling, and letting whatever answer wants to come up, and you're going to get so much wisdom, so much connection to yourself. I've been doing this for a few weeks now, and it has been one of my favorite things. Asking myself my higher self questions, or even just picking a topic that I want to know my thoughts on, or picking a topic that I want to know how I feel about it and just dive deeper into. And I will just pick something and write 3-5 pages about it and just let it flow. And at the end of the day, I have so much clarity. At the end of these pages, I have so much more clarity. I have so much more connection to myself. I understand myself more deeply, and I feel way more connected to myself and have a deeper trust. And that is what you want to cultivate with Mercury in retrograde. This is a time where anxiety might come up because Mercury is also connected to your nervous system. So if there is anxiousness coming up, if your nervous system is getting into fight or flight mode, and you notice all of these things, this is normal. This is, again, nothing to be afraid of, but instead ground yourself. Go out into nature, ground yourself, connect with nature, connect to yourself, do the journaling, like I said, do what I do. I have in my REBELICIOUS membership, I have tappings and I have self-talk rampages. All of these things help rewire thoughts. They help calm down and relax and regulate your nervous system. And this is a very, very good time to do that, to incorporate a nervous system regulation practice, because with Mercury being connected to your nervous system and it being retrograde, you have some anxiety that might come up, you have some emotion and thoughts that might come up, and this is the time to ask yourself questions, to get curious, and also to regulate your nervous system. Doing breath work, doing tapping, all of these things to help you connect and get back into your body, because Mercury at the end of the day is connected to the mind. So there might be a lot of emotion, like a lot of activity happening in your head during Mercury retrograde. And when you notice that, just get back into your body. Find something that helps you ground yourself. Like I said, my favorite thing for me, because I'm a Gemini rising, and I have my moon and my Venus in my 6th house, and the 6th house is connected to Virgo, which is also connected to Mercury. So I have a lot of mercurial energy in my chart anyway. So I'm very used to this energy, and I love using this energy to dive even deeper into my journaling practices, into my nervous system regulations, because I know that this time can be a reminder. I love seeing retrogrades and changing energies as a reminder, because you're getting an accumulation of energy, or you're getting a fixation, like this is your reminder, or this is what is happening in the energy in the universe right now, and this is your reminder to do this for yourself. I want astrology to be something useful, not just something where you feel out of power, where you feel like something is happening and you can't do anything about it, you can't use it to your benefit, you just need to ride the wave and just get through it. That is not what I want you to do. The way that I do astrology, I want you to use astrology to your benefit. I want you to get the most out of astrology instead of getting fearful and passive. I want you to be active, to actively create the life that you want, to actively use the energies that are happening right now in every part of your chart to your benefit. Because with me, I do not believe that you cannot be anything that you want. Like, there's some people who will say, because you have this placement, you have the potential to be rich, or because you have this placement, you have the potential to be successful in business, and if you don't have this placement, you aren't. Not the truth. That is way too simple and a way too simplified way to look at astrology. I believe, and I know, I see with my clients, it doesn't matter what the energies in your chart are. You can make happen what you want. It is about tapping into your uniqueness. It is about tapping into your authenticity. That is actually going to help you get everything that you want, whatever it is that you want. You're not limited. Instead, it is about owning who you are, owning your true energies, and that is going to help you in creating everything that you desire. And at the end of the day, when we're looking at Mercury retrograde, when you want to know what this is personally in your chart, just look for Aries and Pisces and in what house those energies are for you. So where are the signs Aries and Pisces in your chart? For me, Aries is in my 12th house and Pisces in my 11th house. So these energies and these houses and areas of my life are getting highlighted by this Mercury retrograde. And with the 12th house, for me, this is all about my spiritual connection. It is about my traumas, my dreams, my sleep, all of these things I will be working on during Mercury retrograde. I will be journaling on them. I will definitely incorporate more nervous system regulation. Again, I do nervous system regulation practices regularly, but I will be doubling down. I will be connecting to my body to really see where I can connect to my intuition even more deeply, where I can let go of some thoughts that might be limiting me. So this is what I love to do during that time. And if you want to know where this is happening for you and what this means and what area of life that is happening for you, this transit, just download my free Divine Blueprint Guide in my description, and you will have a breakdown of every sign, every house, every planet, and you can look up the houses, or the house, depending, for me it's 2 houses, maybe it might be one for you, where this is happening for you. And you can see what areas of life are getting activated, what things and what thoughts you are getting to question and get curious about, because you're going to see what gifts this Mercury retrograde wants to bring you. So just completely free, download my free Divine Blueprint Guide, and you are getting the insight and the breakdown of this energies. And that is truly all that is to know about Mercury retrograde. At the end of the day, it is a time to enjoy, to just be patient, practice patience, practice a deeper connection to yourself, because like I said, retrogrades are always energy going internal. So this is the perfect time to connect to yourself more deeply. It is a powerful time. It is a gift and nothing to be afraid of. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure, and if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a comment how you're experiencing Mercury retrograde, what came up for you. If you want to connect on IG and talk a little bit about the realizations you had and the energies, the thoughts, the emotions that come up during this time, I would love to connect, to see your comments and just yap a little bit, talk a little bit and grow and create a beautiful community where you can be safe to be yourself, where you can share your thoughts and your emotions. And I can't wait to see you for the next episode. I will see you soon. Enjoy this beautiful time and have fun. Bye.